What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. You know that skill that is very overpowered, that I feel is overpowered, or at least too strong? You know, velocity shift? Well, I gotta tell you, it's so good. Like, I didn't really think about it until, recently, with me just kind of trying to really deep dive into the game and really look at what is and isn't broken. And velocity shift, I give the White Knight a lot of praise. I say the White Knight is this and that, and probably one of the best units in the game. And I think the majority of the reason I say that is because it has access to one skill. And obviously that skill is velocity shift. There's just something about being able to not only give yourself RT reduction, but give everybody within 2 tiles around you RT reduction. And in my mind, that is just... especially at the start of the battle, you know what I'm saying? If you get that to proc, which there goes velocity shift right there, but we had nobody around us. So that's one of the things you got to consider too with using velocity shift, is having your other units nearby, or having a lot of frontline units to take advantage of that. I mean, looking at it, it's just, yeah, reduce the RT of friendly units within 2 tiles by 35. Now, 35 isn't, like, super huge, but, listen, hear me out. 35's about a third reduction in RT. About a third. 33%, maybe like a 40% on average. If you're looking at the average unit's RT, I mean, if you have units that have, 100 RT, when you start the battle, a lot of your units are at base RT, which is generally 80 to 100, somewhere in the 70s if you're really lucky. So by getting that RT down, then the next turn it's lower. You know what I'm saying? So it's so good. It's so good. And the fact that you get it so early on in the game you get White Knights, in Chapter 3? And the enemy does not have access to this spell. Does the enemy have any kind of White Knight? Am I missing something? Maybe like in later, really post-game, like level 60, 70 areas with enemies, they somehow have some fake class that has White Knight abilities or something. You know how they kind of do those weird classes that the player can't get? I don't know. But the enemy doesn't have access to this skill as far as I'm aware. And I find it hilarious because the enemy doesn't do RT to begin with, right? They don't do Boon of Swiftness. They don't use any active skills that reduce RT. So honestly, giving enemy units like RT, like passively, like the White Knight has, I feel would balance the game a little bit for people that think the game is too easy, myself included. Because like I said, that's one of the main things the enemy doesn't utilize in the game that the player has access to, is manipulation of your RT. So kind of disappointed that there's not like another enemy only skill or something. I don't know. I'm just off on a tangent. It doesn't need to be in the game. Like I said, I just find that the enemy doesn't use anything that manipulates RT, and I think that's kind of silly, considering the player has access to it. Usually the AI gets the cheats in games, okay? Usually the AI can do stuff the player can't because the AI is too dumb and the player is too smart. But in this game, we get a lot of stuff the AI doesn't get, so... But anyway, like I said, if you've been playing the game, you know how velocity shift is. It's so strong. It's just game-changing. And, in this situation, my units are pretty spread out, so it's not very useful right here. But most of the time, my units are, like, all clustered, and they're on top of each other, especially, like, if I'm on the front line. And you generally see it. You'll get extra turns over the enemy, and it's pretty insane. It's pretty crazy. So I just want to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on it. I know a couple of you have voiced your concerns before when I've talked about White Knight, saying velocity shift is just an insane skill. And I think it's the main reason I use the White Knight. I think if the White Knight did not have velocity shift, if that was not an option, I don't think I'd use the White Knight. Honestly, I really think that's the bread and butter keeping me using it. I like the fact that the White Knight can heal and stuff, and Guardian Force is nice, and a couple other little things, but when I look at the White Knight, I go, man, I want that velocity shift, and I want it now. Well, guys, thank you again for watching. I do appreciate it, but yes, let me know. Let me know what you think about the velocity shift. Do you think it's just overtuned? If it could be nerfed, would you nerf it? Obviously, it's not gonna. But, like I said, I feel it's borderline OP, if not OP. Probably one of the strongest passives in the game. Easy top 3, top 5, like, strongest passives. I should make a video about that. The 5 passive skills that just break the game. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down below what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, you guys have a good one. Later, guys. Peace out.